Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blockchain Trends Live AMA Series. I'd like to welcome a very special guest, Fanta from Build a Blockchain. I'd like to welcome him to our community, and let's start the show. Hey, Fanta, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thank you, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Um, I'd like to start with how about you give us a general overview of Build a Blockchain and how does it work?
Okay, it's just a build a block. It's a build a block token. And basically, what we do at Build a Block is we offer a large range of development services to developers and people who wish to develop to create some utility for their token. Whether it's big, small, depending on the people's budget, we have many different options. We develop quite a few different DApp that we have smart contracts, NFT smart contracts. Um, sorry, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you loud and clear. I'll
You hear
turn you
me?
up just
Okay,
a tad.
perfect. Okay, awesome. Um, so we have a variety of services that we offer in terms of development, and basically, because we do everything through crypto, so people use the crypto as a payment method. We already have most of these contracts already developed, unless people want custom apps or custom services developed. We have a large range of apps and services and contracts already developed, and we customize them to the needs of the client. And then we use the profits that are generated from the service to reinvest into the token, whether that be in the form of a buyback, of marketing, of LP injection, many things like this. So that's the basic concept. Is we offer a service to developers where they can buy cheap utility from us. We create it for them in a cheap and efficient fashion, and then we use the profits generated from the service to grow our own token. So that is the general concept.
Oh, so you guys are kind of like the Squarespace of blockchain. You guys kind of have these pre-made contracts ready to go. You got your DApps ready. They're just ready to be deployed whenever the customer needs them. And if they do want a
Pretty much,
custom,
yes.
and if they do want a custom blockchain or smart contract or DApp, they can come to you and ask you for that. And do you guys have like developers on staff for that for like custom stuff, or
Absolutely,
is it just
absolutely,
uh,
absolutely. We have coders and developers who are working the back end and who are there to to expand our array of smart contracts and the apps and things like this, but also to take custom requests and things like this. Obviously, if a person is requesting a custom development, it's going to be more expensive than something that we already have in store. But yes, we do take requests and price on request and things like this. And, absolutely, people can request custom developments.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, of course, a custom contract is going to cost more. It's more labor hours, and you have to hire a specific dev. That all makes sense to me. Well, I love the concept, man. I was reading the white paper. I love the concept on the white paper. That was great having that out right away. Do you mind telling us a little bit about the team's background? You said you had a quite an army of developers behind you, at least a couple. So can you just give us a little bit of background, maybe about yourself and about some key members on your team?
Absolutely. Well, we have a very strong team of developers, just from being in the space for so long and trying to come up with new utility again and again and again, and trying and trying again and again to make something that has an impact on the BSC. We've developed a pretty large network of people who are behind Build a Block and helping to develop smart contracts. People that have helped to code tokens and contracts such as buyback token, which was the first token to use the buyback system. We have some of those people on the back end, namely Rico Buyback has recently agreed to help develop certain smart contracts for us if there's a need for custom development. Um, the main buyback coder also is helping on the back end. I myself do anything I can, and a couple others that we've worked with in the past and that we hope to continue to work with in the future. So, in terms of team
Fanta,
members, oh hi Rico,
how are you guys?
I didn't even see you there. I'm good. How are you, man?
I was listening in. Dragon, hi. I hope it's okay if I could ask well, not ask a question, make a comment or so.
Oh, absolutely. If that's okay with Fanta, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to because I was listening in and yeah, about the question to kind of dabble into Fantas background, and I just wanted to tell everyone me and Fanta, we've been working a few months together. I'm not directly helping him as a developer on this project in terms of his actual project, but all his DApp services and stuff like that, I have both myself and our personal team that is kind of working to bring all of his DApps and whatnot services to life, especially the yield farm that also build a block offers that we're going to be coding for them. Fanta's been a really good dev in the space. I've met him kind of maybe 6, 7 months ago when we started working together. And since then, he's been working really hard. And I wanted to tell everyone here that he really does know what he's doing. Like you said, like he was mentioning, like he has some really good developers on his team. A lot of them that came from my personal team as well, which I don't know, to let you guys know, we made something that was called Buyback Token back in June 2021. And we were like the first ones ever to kind of say, hey, let's bring buybacks into BSC. And I mean, you guys now know that that's a huge trend. And if you guys go check the smart contract,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, huge. We really were the first
Absolutely.
to. So it's awesome, to kind of do that. And I mean, being in the space so long, right? We've kind of built up a network of really awesome developers who are really familiar with the space. So if there's any doubts, guys, Build a Block is gonna have some great products coming out. They're gonna have great services to offer. And honestly, Fanta, great job. Your idea is awesome. And I just want to chime in and say keep up the good work and really something that's gonna bring such a utility to BSC and ETH and any network in general, something that actually offers a utility to people and that's actually going to make the space better. Beautiful project. Keep up the good work. I just wanted to say that. Thank you, guys. I'll continue
Thank you,
listening.
Rico. I appreciate the comment and I appreciate the support and obviously I really appreciate everything you do for us on the back end in terms of contracts and
Keep up
development.
the
So
good
yeah,
work
guys.
and we'll have a great time.
Well, thank you
So
for adding to that. It's nice to know that some of the developers have worked on some of the biggest projects in the BSC space. Sorry, I interrupted you, Fanta. Go right ahead.
oh no, you didn't interrupt me at all. I had nothing to add. You didn't interrupt me at all, man. Not at all.
Oh, okay. Then, you know, he said that he was involved with the first buyback token on the BSC. Is there any other notable projects that your developers have worked on in the past?
Well, definitely not as notable as buyback token, which was quite something. Many of the people helping in terms of development were also part of the LXT team, the LiquidX team. I myself had one project that I made a while back called Mutant Tape as well. And so, we've had projects here and there, but we've mostly been focusing on um, big developments in the background, things like Build the Block, which we've been working on for a long time. Um, things like LiquidX and things like this that really bring a difference to the space or a new idea or something that's missing from the BSC that we want to bring in. So our projects have been few and far between, honestly, but when we make a project, we try to make sure it's a very good one.
Yeah, I mean that's the tough. I'm sorry, I jumped right in here in the middle here, guys. But yeah, man, I'm very excited for you, Fanta. I know you've been around for a while, man. Like it's all about building your network before you can even think about building any type of net worth. But when it comes to utility and security and the idea and the concept of what you're trying to bring, I think it's something that's definitely needed within the space. A trusted place that people can go if they want to go and build smart contracts or custom contracts. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go with this, right? And with your background utilizing LiquidX token that was, buying into liquidity of other tokens and the actual innovation that you're trying to bring to the BSC along with other chains. You know, y'all aren't just saying, hey, this is, you know, we're going to start in the BSC, but, you know, y'all have the innovation in mind to be looking towards other chains and, you know, actually bringing something, what I can feel to the space, you know, with the type of people that you work with and the type of guy that I've, you know, been dealing with. I'm very excited for you, man. I'm happy that you're out there building things. And I think that's what we all need to be doing. The opportunity that we have within crypto is, you know, but this could explode at any moment, you know, so it's going to be exciting to see where it leads, my man. Happy for you.
Absolutely, man. I listen. I appreciate the comment, and you know, yeah, that's really the goal is to find something that's missing from the space and bring it forward. In terms of cross chain, I heard you mention cross chain a couple times. We It's definitely within our plans in the future. I hadn't really mentioned it, you know, yet in chat or anything like this. But cross-chain is definitely something we want to implement. We think it brings, you know, um, many advantages to a token. And in terms of cross-chain, one thing we're very excited about is our bridge to the Harmony chain, which is one of the first ones we have planned. As one of our main backend developers has some connections at the people who developed Harmony One, and so that's definitely one thing we want to do. If you look at the white paper, you can also see that one of the services we offer is a token wrapper, and essentially what that is the app which creates a wrapped version of your token, and this is what allows for cross-chain. So in terms of cross-chain, not only do we plan to be cross-chain, but we also offer a service that other developers can easily bridge their tokens cross-chain. So
Absolutely.
100%, it's one of our goals.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, bringing tokens cross chain is probably one of the hardest things you have to do in the crypto space, especially if you're a small token just trying to get your start and you want to expand your horizons to other blockchains. That's a great service to offer, in my opinion. I love the whole concept about you. It's like a one-stop shop for everything you need to build a project in here, and that's bullish to me. I mean, I know a lot of people who struggle to find certain pieces of the puzzle in making their tokens, and this is a pretty viable solution for them to branch out on their own project and build some connections
Exactly,
while
right?
they're there.
Yeah, correct. 100%, man.
Exactly, and it's also you know, developers, no matter the state of the market, no matter the state of a token, there is always going to be a developer who's going to need to have a certain utility developed. Yes, you're always going to have, you know, the average degen plays as they call them, and things like this, but you know, there's always developers out there looking for utility, and especially looking for cheap utility, and that's what we offer at Build a Block. So yeah, that's pretty much the main idea behind the token is that.
Absolutely. And just there's one important thing that I look for in every project, and it gives the community comfort to know. Are you guys KYC'd or are you planning to dox in the future? It just gives the community comfort to know that either you KYC'd or dox or you're planning to.
I At the moment we're not KYC or doxed. I would say, in all honesty, doxing is not something which is within our plans. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, I mean, nobody even knows who Satoshi is. You know, as far as KYC, we are planning to apply for a pink cell KYC just in order to, you know, put the community at ease. But you know, in terms of doxing, I personally, my personal opinion on that is that a dev doxing is not necessarily like a bullish thing. Oftentimes, a shitty dev will dox just because it gives people a reason to buy the token. It's like, oh, the
Oh
dev
yeah,
is
that.
doxed.
I mean, what honestly matters is who's the one holding the keys. Are they trustable? Are they reliable? Have they built a reputation in the space? I mean, do I think doxing is necessary? I've probably been rug pulled more by someone that's doxed than the other way around. I mean, the entire blockchain ecosystem, you know, like you touched on, Bitcoin was created to be a pseudo anonymous ledger. Like I think KYC is important, or it doesn't have to be done, but I still think, you know, like we still don't know who created Shiba. You know, we don't know who made Bitcoin, right? It's all about the team doing what they say they're going to do, and you know, and just like over delivering, under promising, over delivering, right? As long as they continue to deliver on what they say they're going to deliver. I mean, it is something that I look for, but is it something that I think is going to make or break a project? I don't believe so. So I understand your reasoning behind that.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much the thing is, I'm not necessarily against a KYC, Pixel KYC, which is something we plan to apply for in the future. But as far as a docs, I don't find it's a very necessary step in the token's life, especially considering we've built up quite a bit of a reputation, and people in the space for the most part trust us and appreciate our work and our projects and things like this, and so for that reason we don't I highly doubt a
And
docs
these,
is going
and
to be
like
present in the future.
with these smart contracts that y'all are going to be deploying. So someone, like, say someone will be able to go to the website and so like make like set certain boundaries for taxes and different things like that. Is that how it's going to operate, or are there going to be pre-made contracts that they select on, or is it going to be customizable? Or if it is customizable, are y'all planning on like opening up some sort of auditing, or will they be audited before they're listed? Is this something y'all are thinking about or looking into?
Well, it's not. There's no real listing involved. It's not anybody that comes to us with something they need developed is not going to be like listed on our website or anything. We've had sort of a similar question where people were asking about buying the services directly off the website, and we are evaluating some different options. But the main thing with that is that each situation in terms of price is going to be so different that it's going to be hard to set like one price that people just go order on the website. Because, for example, developers who hold tokens are going to get rebates on the price of the developments. Also, developers have to pay 30% of the price, and this is something I forgot to mention. Developers who buy the service, they have to pay 30% of the price in the form of build tokens, and of in build the block tokens, and then we take the tokens they paid with, and these tokens are burned, and so this also raises the price floor.
So you like the
But
price for it.
yeah, exactly. But in terms of like having like one price on the website, it's very difficult because each situation for each person is going to be very different in terms of price, in terms of what they need. Sometimes people will need to have a certain contract customized in a certain way, and that's going to be more expensive just because of like new testing and things like this. Um, so for the moment, it's simply all being done through Telegram, and people can come contact me, and then I bring their project to my developer team. We've already had a couple developers contact us to purchase services off us, and I'm already in contact with the team of developers to figure out a price and things like this. And obviously there's like package deals, and depending on how many tokens they hold, they're gonna pay a higher or a lower price. Um, Many things like this, and so until we figure out like a viable solution for putting it like directly on the website. For the moment, we're keeping everything strictly through Telegram. They come to us, they tell us the service they want developed. We look into what's how many tokens they hold, how many tokens they hold, and other factors like this. And then we figure out a price with them on Telegram and go ahead and develop the service. We receive the payment, and then whatever profits are left after the developers have been paid and the testing fees have been paid back, the profit we keep, we use it to reinvest in the token and market the token as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, having these services, a portion of those services, at least the profits made, going into the token, and that's very bullish for the build token, because it doesn't necessarily rely on volume from buyers and marketing. It also relies on your services and how well you guys do. So it's really a benchmark of how many services you provide in that way. It raises the token floor.
Yeah, exactly. The more services we provide, the higher the price goes, and we have like a relatively large margin of profit on the development services, just because of the time we've been in the space and the connections we've built. Um, Many of the developers we know are able to do things for a much lower price than you would find on the open market, like on Fiverr or on Upwork or anything like this. And so, for this reason, we're able to offer a very, very competitive price to other developers. And on top of that, keep a good portion of the profit to then reinvest in build token.
Yeah, man, I like that it's personalized consulting. And is consulting free, or is there some sort of fee attached to that as well?
No, absolutely. The consulting, if someone comes to us with a project and they ask us, can you develop this? And we talk prices and things like this. Of course, all of that is free. It's our pleasure to take the time and talk with other developers and see if we can figure something out. And if they then don't buy the service, it's no hard feelings, and it happens. Um, but no, the in terms of consulting, it's completely free.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I know a lot of consulting services that you have to pay, they sneak in a little fee or other things like that, but it's nice to know that if we get a consultation from you, that we won't be charged a dime until we agree upon our smart contract deal or whatever service that you're providing to us. So the next thing, burning question that's on my mind is everybody has like their crypto story and how did they get into crypto? So I'm just curious, Fanta, how did you get into crypto and what made you want to do this for a living and build this project?
Oh, the story of how I got into crypto is not the most exciting one. I'll tell you that. Basically, it was one morning. I was reading the paper and I saw an article about Ethereum. I bought a bit of Ethereum, made a bit of money, and eventually, I the first token I ever bought. Um, to be honest, I forget the name, but it was a token on the BSC. I believe it might have been a Taco Cat, and I put like $100 in. I lost it all, and then I kept investing in tokens. I tried many different techniques, and one day I bought buyback token for $50 as soon as it launched, and a few hours later I had $15,000 in my wallet, and and that's pretty much how I got started. And then I got in touch with the developer. We started working together a bit, and that's pretty much how I got into it.
That's crazy. 15K on one token. That's a
Yeah,
nice profit. I think that will get anybody into crypto.
yes, it
They
was.
made a nice 15K. Oh man. Oh, so another thing I've noticed in your pen messages that you actually were going to do a pre-sale in the beginning, but then you decided to switch to a fair launch. I'm just curious on your thoughts of why did you decide to go fair launch versus pre-sale?
Um, Basically, the main reason was because we wanted it to be as fair as possible for everybody, especially with the condition the market was in. Having a pre-sale as small as 30 BNB would have created like a sell pressure um, that we didn't think would be a good thing for the project. A high already, with the current market, people are quicker to sell, but if they get into a pre-sale and they see automatic gains right at the launch, they're even more likely to do so. And we wanted it to be fair for everybody. And the people who trust us from the beginning, they got in early, and yeah, that's pretty much why it. We just thought it would be better for the project and fairer for everybody else to have a fair launch.
Yeah, I think everybody has seen the pre-sale pump and dump right at launch, and it can wreck some projects to zero. And I totally understand the reasons for a fair launch and why you want to do that. It does make it fair for every single investor who wants to invest in your project, assuming they have the fastest fingers.
Yes,
So
well, exactly.
yeah, exactly. So um, you did launch quite low. Your liquidity was, I think, around
It
$3,000.
was no
Uh,
for build a block.
yeah.
It
For
was
what was your LP? Excuse me.
$700
Seven
initial.
700 what?
$700 initial 2
Oh
BNB.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So one of my concerns about low caps is that oftentimes when you get to the 100Ks, you get a big dump after that. So like near like 100, 200K, how do you guys plan on beefing up that liquidity and mitigating that dump at like 100K, 200K? I've seen a lot of microcaps do that.
Well, we keep doing what we're doing now, which is, a nice steady growth, very building the community, making it as strong as possible. Also, obviously, it helps that um, our utility is going to help that a lot in the sense that we're going to be receiving funds from devs in order to sustain the price and sustain the dips and the dumps and things like this. Um, and it's just a matter of continuing to work hard and continuing to get marketing, not like willy-nilly but strategically placed marketing, getting the right calls at the right times and the right listings and posts at the right times as well. And just continuing to accumulate and save funds for this period, because the hard part is not getting there. The hard part is really to sustain it there. And
Oh,
so
I
yes.
absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I think sustaining volume is one of the hardest things you can do in cryptocurrency, especially if you're launching your own project. And I think it's very important that you just keep those fundamentals and you just keep building what you envision to build, and just keep delivering, and don't overpromise. Don't say the due date's going to be the 10th and then be like, oh crap, we can't deliver. Right? I've seen that hundreds and hundreds of times. So if you guys keep going at the rate you're going, yeah, I could see you guys mitigating that depth. Absolutely. So my next question for you is: you talked about marketing earlier and how that you're going to beef up the marketing for that period. What is your plans for marketing? Like, do you have any specific influencers that you've hired already, or do you have a certain plan for marketing? It's very critical, especially in this stage. And I've seen a lot already. I'm just curious if you had more plans like today for marketing.
Well, in terms of marketing, we've taken a slightly different approach than a lot of projects I've seen. Unfortunately, I've seen too many projects die, um, because not because they weren't willing to spend the money, but simply because they didn't know how and where and when to spend it. And there's a very important it's a very important thing to know how to do, because I've seen people spend 10, 20, 30 BNB on marketing, and they've gotten Venom, they get Caesar, they get these big call groups, and they don't understand that these call groups, basically what they bring in is pure volume, but it's volume that's going to pump and dump your token. And that's not what we want here. We want to build it up steadily, slowly. We reach an all-time high, we come back down, we slowly build it back up, reach another all-time high, start to come back down a bit, continue to build it up, use the marketing money, yes, on call groups, but on the right call groups. The ones that aren't gonna charge 6 to 8 BNB and bring in 2 or 3 BNB of volume. Um, also, we are much more focused on like some Reddit trending, some listing sites. We're gonna get listed right after this AMA. Um, is We're gonna be listed on some Chinese trending sites, some trending sites. Yeah, some Chinese token trending sites. So things like that, not just taking the regular approach of pump and dump the call group and then you get another call and again, but more building up and trying to get like also aiming to get like the smartest investors possible. And people that buy and that see the utility and that then want to hold the project is something that's very important for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Finding the right investor is probably one of the hardest things in this space, is because you see you have a certain amount of holders on your smart contract on BSC scan. You don't necessarily know like what they want or like what's the ideal investor for you, and really targeting those people is vital for the project survival. And I think that this project is very versatile in the way that it markets services and that the utility feeds into the token. So it really hits a lot of boxes like passive income and solid utilities, services. A very solid business model from the sounds of it.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
So
absolutely. That's the idea.
yeah, and I've noticed that you've been growing your community quite a bit over these past few days. I think you're at over 1,100 members. Am I correct in that, or are you
Yes, you are.
more? Okay,
Uh,
yeah. So you guys are just over 1,100 members, and you guys have some great engagement. A lot of groups I see that have like 10,000 members have like 2 times less engagement than what you guys have. So that's awesome to see. And I was just wondering how you were planning on really building your Telegram community, and if you were planning on reaching out to, say, the likes of Discord. I know you talked about building a Reddit community, but I think Discord's a very untapped community as far as the crypto space goes, excluding NFTs. So are you guys planning to broaden your horizons with your community, like going on Facebook, like Twitter, YouTube, platforms like that?
Absolutely, man. And listen, it's very much in our plans, and that's was one of the things I was trying to communicate as well, was the importance we place on marketing outside of Telegram. So that's Reddit, that's listing sites, Chinese listing sites. Of course, YouTube is something we want to get into. YouTube promotion is quite a bit more expensive and often more useful for tokens once they've reached a certain market cap. So that will come, more when we hit the 150K phase. But 100% YouTube, Discord groups. Obviously, Telegram is a place where cryptocurrency advertisement is very present, and so it's definitely something we're going to continue doing, but only in addition to other platforms such as Discord and YouTube and things like this. Yes, 100%. All of these things are in our plans in the future.
Yeah, great. It's nice to see a well-versed project hitting multiple boxes like this. Um, Actually, you know what? I forgot to ask this in the beginning, but are you guys planning to do an audit, or have you done an audit already? I can't remember if I saw one.
We haven't done an audit. We plan on applying for some free audits. But a full audit costs like $2,000, and it's like, for in my opinion anyway, I find that audits are relatively useless in the sense that people can simply go read the smart contract. It's not that complicated. Um, and But yes, we've applied for free audits, and I understand it's something that builds community trust and things like this. And so a full audit is something that we plan to have, in the further future, once we've hit like high market caps and have stabilized at high market caps and have a good amount of funds that we can afford to spend a couple $1,000 on like somebody to read our smart contract, basically, because that's what an audit is. It's somebody reading your smart contract and telling you this is good, this is not good. That's essentially what it is. So we don't we are not going to be spending that kind of money right now, but in the future, once we're comfortable, definitely it's a milestone, to get a full audit from like a CerTic or something like this, and definitely builds trust within the community as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's great that it's in your roadmap. It's something that I like to see. I mean, I can read smart contracts pretty well. I know a lot of people that can't read a smart contract like that, and they just don't have the time to go pour through like hundreds of lines of code. And it's definitely a nice to have. So it's nice to see that you guys are planning to really do some community service and provide that audit for your community.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's definitely something that's in our plans for the future.
Yeah, man. And what do you see being your biggest challenge in the short term now? Like, what are you most what do you think is your biggest challenge?
Um, I would say the biggest challenge is really gonna be just the managing people's expectations. I would say is one thing that's probably the biggest challenge for any token is people expect to see a 10x and immediately and put in $10 and take out 100. But that's not always how the crypto space works. And so I think the biggest challenge is really going to be like managing people's expectations, and so people understand that it's not an instant moon. It's a slow process. It's a steady process, but it's a necessary process if we want to build like a real good, stable token that can last long term and not just be like a quick pump and dump like we see so often. And so yeah, I would say that in my opinion is going to be the biggest challenge, at least in the short term.
Yeah, absolutely. Managing people's expectations. People in the space, especially the BSC, have such like short attention spans when it comes to tokens. It feels like because they have like wild expectations. Oh, I need another 100x or this and that in 2 weeks, right? And you're just like, well, I have to build all of this stuff. I have to offer these services. I can't do a 100x in just 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very difficult.
It's a matter of time. It's just a matter of time and managing people's expectations and just showing people that patience really does pay. Um, yeah, and I just saw somebody say in the chat that we're at 198 holders, so we're 2 holders away from 200 holders, and in my opinion, we're doing really well right now.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I've been seeing your chart. It looks really good. Like I said, lots of great engagement I've seen in that chat. Very hyped. Great. I think in my opinion, it's been a really good launch. I mean, fair launches sometimes they just go south and they never recover. But you guys have managed to hold it up and really be aggressive with that marketing right away, especially in this bear market that we're heading into.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. So I guess my last question for tonight is that do you have anything that you'd like to say or announce today that we haven't talked about already?
Um, not particularly. We're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep doing what we do. Right now, I'm just in contact with someone who's confirming the Chinese, our first Chinese listing. So we're moving into the Chinese marketing as of tonight, which I know is something people always ask for. But yeah, except for that, you touched on pretty much everything, and I think we're doing very well. And yeah, we're gonna keep working and we're gonna keep pushing. So absolutely.
All right, great, man. I think we're going to open up the floor to some investor questions. So if you'd like to speak up, speak up. And if you'd like to ask a question in the text chat, feel free to ask a question in the text chat. Guardian, you unmuted your mic?
Yeah. How long do you expect people to actually hold the token?
Listen, I don't have expectations for anyone. I hope people hold the for as long as possible. We're gonna work to show the community that we are working for them, and but I mean that's a delicate question, because how long do I expect people to hold? Um, I don't know. It depends on the person. People hold for as long as they want to hold, for as long as they're still bullish on the project. And as a developer, all you can do is try to get new holders to come in and replace those that have sold. So I would say I expect people to hold for as long as possible. That's the best answer I can give you, honestly, man.
So, thinking like an investor, if I put money in and I'm holding now, I'm waiting for just the market cap to go up, and you said you were going to be putting in your profits into the token.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so it all depends on where the market cap is and where I feel comfortable either selling or buying. So you have no like staking or locking mechanism, or how are you going to keep people from dumping on the project once it hits a certain mark?
Well, it's like I said before, man. It's people buy and people sell when they want to buy, when they want to sell. So as a developer, the only thing you can, I personally, I don't believe in like locking people's money in or forcing them to hold the token, um, or anything like this. What I believe in is in hard work and in replacing the sellers with new buyers. So people are gonna sell when they want to sell. Really, there's not much you can do to prevent that. That
Right.
isn't gonna be harmful for the token in the long term. But the only thing you can do is find new buyers to replace those that have left, and that's the way I see it.
How much of the taxes buy sell?
10% both ways.
Both ways. Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Do we have any more questions for Fanta tonight? Feel free to unmute your mic or type in the text chat if you have any questions. Okay, guys, I think everybody's asked all of their questions that they need to know about build a blockchain. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. All of the build a blockchain community and Fanta for coming on our chat tonight and being a guest on Blockchain Trends. Thank you so much, Fanta, for coming out tonight and answering some of our investor questions and some of the burning ones that I personally had. It's been great talking to you guys, and we'll see you next time on Blockchain Trends.
Thank you very much, Dragon. You have yourself a nice night.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.